Tempted. So, 45-year-old song. It's 2026 February as I record this, and very positive guy. You know, I'm not a critical dude really of other people, but there isn't, in my opinion, an accurate transcription of this song on YouTube. There's two big issues. One is the tuning, and the second is the chords that I see are just not correct. So first of all, the tuning. This song is up 5 hertz at A445. There's your reference note. It might be 444, it might be 446, but it's not 440. It's up just a little bit. I can hear it when I test some of the chords. I've isolated the organs and keys, and I've A-B'd it with standard and a little bit pitched up, and to me it sounds better when we are up 5 hertz. Okay, so there's your reference pitch. You can also use an online tone generator to get this. If you have a tuner that has a function to change the reference pitch, use that. This is a cheap little Boss clip-on tuner, really great. Get one if you don't have one. And the second issue is the chords. The harmony for this song is very complicated. Learnable. I'm going to teach you all the harmony in this song. I'm going to show you all the chord functions. And I've done a lot of research on this. I have cross-referenced Glenn Tilbrook's live acoustic performance of this, where he makes some very interesting chord choices. And you can watch his video. I'll link it below after you watch this. And you can see how his voicings are a little different. I'll make some comments about that. There's also another video of him holding a chord chart for this song. And I know this sounds utterly sacrilegious, but there's a couple of those chords I think that he's simplified, and quite frankly, one of them I think is just flat out wrong. And I know that's that's sacrilegious to say the guy who wrote the song has a wrong chord, but it is a wrong chord, and I'll point that out. So I think this will be a fun video. If you like harmony in theory, you're in the right place. If you just want to learn this song to bash out on an acoustic guitar, you're also in the right place. So I'm going to leave out all the overdubs, and I'm just going to get right to the harmony here. The key to learning this song is to follow the bass movement. The bass movement is really the part that's super clever. So here we go. All right, so we're in B major to start. The tonality of the song is B. We're going to weave in and out of minor in this. So there'll be some, you can call it modal mixture, modal interchange, borrowed chords, whatever. So we start off with a B. Now, voicing wise, I'm going to keep it simple, and we're going to use the sort of open voicings. I'm going to do this with a pick. So the first chord is a B major. The second chord is a B over A. So that gives it kind of a dominant sound, right? Because the A is your flat 7. So the bass line has that kind of dominant thing. And then we move up to an E chord with the F sharp in the bass, so the first inversion E chord. So there's your E chord. We just throw that bass in. And then the bass comes off. So you could also play like this. Some of you might like that, this voicing here. There's no third in this voicing other than the root, right? This is just an E5 chord. So here you have that fully voiced E over G sharp, and then you bring that open root. So all right. So that's just a 1/4 in B major. So the verse, I'll put the chords up on the screen. It looks crazy, but there is a function to all these chords, and I'm gonna play through it, show you what the chords are, then I'm gonna give you a quick explanation of how the harmony is working here. All right, here we go. Okay, so you can see the chords are all up there, but let's just go through them pretty quickly. So we start off again in the root of B, and then we bring in the major 7 in the bass here. And then we go to the 6th chord, G minor, G sharp minor, a final for my face. Now here I think what they do is they play the minor and then the minor 7. So you get toothbrush and toothpaste, a final for my face. To me that's what it sounds like, okay? You could just stay on the G minor, but I think it's G minor to G minor 7. And then we move down to our first non-diatonic key chord, a chord that's outside the key. And it's this chord here, which is a first inversion C sharp major chord. So you have an F in the bass, which is the 3rd of C sharp major. Right? So what this is a secondary dominant chord. This is the 5 of the 5 chord. The 5 chord is F sharp. The 5 chord is C sharp. So this is a secondary dominant in first inversion. You could also call it a major 2 chord, right? The 2nd chord in the key is C sharp minor. You make it a major, you call it a major 2. I think of this as a secondary dominant. Usually secondary dominants will resolve. So normally what that chord would do is resolve to the F sharp. In this case it doesn't, so you can think of it as a major 2 if you want to. It's just a C over F in C sharp over F in first inversion. So it's like a C chord, just moved up, and then you're barring across there. So that chord might take some practice. Okay. And then you have E minor 7. New shoes and a case. You can really hear that 7 in there. And then we go to the minor here. So that E minor 7 is a minor 4 chord. So that brings us into a minor tonality. Go with B minor 7. So that's our tonic in minor. And then we go to the minor 5, or if you want to think of it this way, the 5 in B minor, which is an F. It could be I think it's an F sharp minor. It might be an F sharp minor 7, but I think it's an F sharp minor. And then we have this interesting movement here to a G over A chord. Right, so the A there in B minor is perfectly okay. In B major, you'd have an A sharp. So we're still thinking about B minor here, moving around a minor tonality. So that moves us to, it's really the, what is it, the 7 over the 6, right? Or the 6 over the 7, because you've got in B minor, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the 6 is G, A is the 7. So you've got the G over A, 6 over 7 there. So that fits in the key minor. And then you have that A, D. So that again is still B minor. And then that brings us down to an E. Okay, which is starting to move us back into major territory. It's a major 4 chord, right? A 4 chord in B. Church and the steeple, the laundry on the hill, G major, and billboards and the building. So now we're back in B major. But what's happening here, E, G, B, these are what are called chromatic mediants. So your E to G, you have a common tone of B. B is a common tone there. But the root is a minor 3rd away, right? So a chromatic median is a chord whose root is a 3rd away or minor 3rd away with one common tone, and the chord must be outside the key. And G is not in the key of B major. So E, laundry on the hill, billboards and the buildings. So that G to B, that's a 3rd. What's the common tone in G and B? Well, B. B is the 3rd of G. So it's E, G, B, chromatic mediant movement, right? So billboards and the buildings, memories. That part there is an A over E chord, right? So that's kind of a backdoor dominant kind of a color. It's the flat 7 chord. So in all rock, E, A, B, D, flat 7 chord, right? It's like every AC/DC song ever written, and most of every rock song ever written. So you have a flat 7 with a 5th in the bass. So it has a nice kind of voice leading kind of thing. But then, this is the chord I don't think I've ever seen anybody get right. So the bass, right, we have to think about this. The billboards and the buildings, memories of it still keep it all, I know I will. That's the bass action there. So we have that billboards and the buildings, memories of it still. That's an F augmented chord. So A, C, and E are the chord tones in an A major chord, where you have, in this case, the 5 in the bass. So now we move up to that F in the bass. So we need a chord that transitions us nicely from that A. Well, F augmented is F, A, and C sharp. So A and C sharp, you have common tones there, right? So it's a nice... So it's just like an F, except you make it like an A minor on the bottom 3 strings, and you just pop your... that F right there. So there's your augmented note, that C sharp. So you get, and then D over F sharp. So this is a chord that's borrowed from B minor. This is where we get into that kind of modal mixture again. So it's a flat 3 chord, basically 3 capital, right? Because typically in D minor or B major, you'd have a D sharp chord. So you're borrowing that chord from B minor, so it gets that nice bass movement. D over F sharp, back to E, right, which is our 4 chord, back to the flat 3 in first inversion, right, because you got the F sharp in the bass, and then we bring it back to F, but this time it's over a G7. So F over G7, you can play it that way. I'm playing it this way here, where I've got the D and the F. You could play it like this. You could put the 3rd in there if you want, right? Kind of neutral about how you do that. You got a G here. There's no F in, you know, you have the G, the F there, but you got to find a way to, but you need that 7 in there, right? So, billboards and the buildings, memories of it still keep calling and calling, but forget it all, I know I will. So it ends on the 4, but there's a dominant move in there, bringing that 7 in, right? And if you listen to the bass is going boom, 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 boom. It does that little move up to the D, right? So that's the function of the harmony in there. So all of these chords have there is some purpose and some thought, some connection between everything, right? And if you're just learning music and you see all these chords, you think, oh my God, like how are these chords connected? Well, now you know, right, how they're all working. So again, follow the bass. The hard part is going to be that F augmented chord, right? Now, a couple of comments. If you watch Glenn Tilbrook's solo acoustic video, for my face, he's just playing pajamas, a hairbrush. Instead of playing it in this and getting that F in there, he's just playing it without the F in the bass. I'm playing it as a straight C sharp chord, okay, or D flat. But C sharp would be correct in B major, right? Pajamas, a hairbrush. He's playing some variant of E minor here. I think he's playing like this chord, maybe. Where is it? It's pajamas, a hairbrush, new shoes, and a shoe. What's he doing? Shoes and a case. I don't know. He's playing some version of shoes, pajamas, a hairbrush, new shoes, and a case. He's playing some variant of E minor in there, right? I prefer it like this, right? I like to hear that bass movement. So if I was doing this as a solo acoustic, and that's kind of the reason I'm making this video, is because a lot of you probably want to do that. I would play this, and then I would play this E minor here. The voicing on the E minor, I'd suggest keep that high E out of it, right? And then said to my reflection, let's get out of this place. Looks to me like he's playing this G over A. There's a G with an A, or you can play G with that thumb over that chord. I play it this way, where I'm making that double stop here, the G and the E, G and the D notes, and just bringing my ring finger up to grab that A. I think that sounds better on an acoustic guitar. You know, when at all possible, you want to get those. I think most of the time you want those kinds of chords, but you can just play this. I'm not sold on that. You know, if you watch the Tilbrook video, he's very aggressive, and he's playing it in his way, and he wrote the fucking song, so of course, you know, we have to defer to that. But that's the chord that he plays, G and then A. Church in the steeple, on the hill, billboards in the buildings, memories of it still. He's playing that chord. You can see him in the video playing that F sharp, that F augmented chord, right? And I've seen other top pro players talking about this song, and they're like, yeah, it's F augmented. And you can hear it. You can isolate the keys. If maybe I'll pull that up and edit that into the video. There's an F augmented chord in there. Right? And then calling. Now when he plays the D over F sharp, he's playing this chord. He likes that more triad based approach, right? He's playing that chord. I like, to my ears, I like that better, right? So he's playing it with a double root F, right? Double third in the bass there. And hey, whatever works, right? Then again, E, D over F sharp. It looks to me the way he's playing the G over F is like that. I play it like this, and I'll tell you why. It's because the one thing I hate the most on the guitar is that chord. The G major chord with the open B. I hate that chord so much, it should be banned, right? You will never hear me play that freaking chord. So I always would like to get that 5 in there, the 5th, that D. Right? So forget it all, I know I will. Sounds to me so much better than forget it all, I know I will. That sounds horrible, man. It's horrible. So then the I will. So that E7, that kind of move gives it a bit of an unresolved feel, which I think is more satisfying going back to that B for the chorus. Now let's talk about the chorus, the way Tilbrook plays the chorus. Looks to me like he's doing just that, right? And he's doing more of this type of voicing rather than me, where I'm playing more all 6 strings a lot of the times. So I would play the G over F sharp like this, or E over G sharp like this. Or again, if you want to do it that way, I think in this song that sounds better, and then just bring that. But he's playing it like this. Okay? So there we go. All right, now we have the chorus. So let me find my little app here. Okay. Let's go. Chorus is the same as the intro with some additions. So oops, geez. We know this, right? But now what's been going on? What's been going on now that you have gone? So there we have, again, secondary dominant, the 5 of the 5 chord, but this time it's played as a 7. Okay? Now that you have gone, now that you have gone. To me it's a 7, sounds like a 7. So C sharp 7, and then F sharp 7 sus 4, resolving to F sharp. So you get, now that you know what's been going on, now that you have gone. You hear how that resolves? Now that you have gone, there's no other. Oops. Now this time, straight 2 minor chord, and then bum 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 bum. So the bass and that little, that little connecting bit, that interlude to return to the chorus, is just playing G, F sharp, G, A, G, F sharp, G, A. And there's some single note stuff on the keys there. So one option is just to play, right? It doesn't sound so good to me if you try to harmonize that. Or doesn't sound right to me. So Glenn Tilbrook on his acoustic version does something really cool there. So he'll play tempted but the truth is discovered. He does that. So E minor, B5, so it's E minor, B5, E minor, E sus, E minor, B5, E minor, E sus, brings us back to B. So that E sus, I think, is a really nice way to get back to that B. Right, that suspension in that 4 chord, right? So again, tempted but the truth is discovered. So it then just carries on from there. Okay, so you've got some options for that interlude between verse 1 and verse 2. Similarly, you have the same thing in verse 2 to the shortened third verse, right? So, right, now listen. All right, same as before. This is all the same. Right there. You know who that is? Right there. This is mind blowing. That's Elvis Costello, both the low and the high part right there. I think he co-produced this. Okay. So this is all the same. B chord, A over E, F augmented, D over F, G over F, E7, right? So it's all cyclical, I guess you could say. Listen to that F sharp chord. Is it just me? I'm pretty sure that's what it does, the way it resolves there. So I think we get an extra go around on the chorus. Am I right about that? And you have the same thing here. You have a short. have that truncated third verse there. And then it just fades. So that's the video. I hope I got it right. I'm pretty, like, I'm not the most confident guy with music. I don't have a great ear. But I think I got this. I had some help, right? I watched a lot of other videos. Again, I had primary source from Dead Wax. Great guys over there. The ear on those dudes just friggin' nuts. So anyway, thanks for watching. Take it easy.